talking about the story stuff, and that everything was going to be very detailed. People said, oh, that means it's small. It's going to be like tiny little worlds, and they're just going to be little isles. And yeah, no, our worlds are huge. They are huge and they are beautiful. Everything we've been doing, when you're building a game like this, especially when you're building on a new engine, all of your art tech comes in very late. So pretty much everything that you guys have seen a year ago really does not apply anymore when you're looking at the planets. So we're going to show you a couple of very, very beautiful, big planets. BioWare. So we're going to start out on showing you Tatooine, because it's something everybody can judge. Everybody can say, hey, I know what I think Tatooine looks like. Or we're going to go to Hoth, because they're totally backwards on me. Way to ruin my pacing. So we've got Hoth. Obviously, Hoth is a very, very cold place. It's really hard to set up any sort of permanent residence here. There was a major space battle above Hoth, and there is a large group of pirates that are there trying to take the wreckage of what has basically become a starship graveyard there. They've been there for quite a while. Now the Republic and the Imperials have also noticed what's going on, and they're trying to get in there, but it's very hard to make any progress and any movement in Hoth. This is actually a large mining facility that was put in before the Republic and the Empire got there by the Ortolans, who are some cute little blue guys who actually like the cold weather. You notice these are people. It's very big. This is one of a smaller indoor areas. These poor guys are trying to pick through the ice and actually set up some living quarters. Unfortunately, the wildlife of Hoth is not terribly friendly. This is one of the smaller bases. Really, it takes a long, long time for them to really build up any sort of population center there. This is just a small piece of one of the capital ships that has crashed out there that you can actually go in and explore. See our little Tals guy down here. This is actually an ice fortress. It was carved out by a group of survivalists on the planet. A little bit of trivia, for those of you who know. The core of Hoth, look at the tiny people. The core of Hoth is actually volcanic, which is why there is life on Hoth. There are underground caves that grow plant life, which is what the actual Tauntauns eat, and then the Wampas eat the Tauntaun. Great circle of life. And this is a beautiful, beautiful scene from inside one of the volcanic mining facilities. And that's Hoth. And it's a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of an enormous, huge world. And this might be Tatooine next. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. What? They were actually in the Hoth video. Might be hard to see from where you are. There is weather on Hoth. It does snow. Stuff does blow around. You do get sandstorms on Tatooine. Hey look, Tatooine! Tatooine is obviously a really, really old world. There is a lot of remnants of things that have come beyond. It's very, very big. There is a lot of desert. You're a very tiny person in a very big, hot land. Residences tend to be very small. On Tatooine, obviously, there's not much natural resources, so people need to spread out and take what they can. You've got the Jawas and their beautiful, beautiful sand crawlers that will go around and set up small trading communities. These are the crags. There's actually a lot of variation in the landscape you can have, even in a desert. Makes some very beautiful spaces. See the Banthas here? And way up there you can actually see one of the Sand People snipers if you're trying to go through these tiny little bootlegs. You've got the farming communities out there trying to use a little bit of wind weather. And obviously the moisture evaporators. This is a small Mandalorian camp that's been brought in by a warlord on Tatooine. Sand People more out in their native place, but they've started to creep in next to some of the population centers. There's a lot of farming communities. This is one of dozens of farming communities that are out there. This one's actually been overrun. Another Sand People person camp way out in the desert. stuff there. This is Anchorhead. This is by far the largest city on Tatooine. Everything you need to trade, everything you need to do your crafting, everything you need to meet other players is here.